Good evening, everyone. Welcome to After Hours with Team William O'Neill India. Today, July 25th. So it was a volatile day for the market. So after opening a bit on the lower side, I think the fall extended and it breached that 16,600 level, which was expected to give some. Though there is no clear support line or at 600 level, but yes, some data suggested that there might be some hold over there. But yes, it didn't remain much, and the fall was not sharp from there. So it rebound again and moved about the 16,600 level, and in fact, it moved higher to reach almost 16,700 level. वहां तक almost पहुंच गया था, but again it found resistance over there, and again the closing was somewhere around 16,600, 610, 20 level. So yeah, so no major things, just a one big move from below 16,600, more than 100 point का move वहां पे आया था, and then there was this fall over here which was somewhere around 70 to 80 point. But in the process, what we didn't like today was that the Nifty added distribution day. So now those who are new, so see, अभी market ऊपर जा रहा है, confirm uptrend में है, so now this becomes the most crucial. तो अभी weakness कैसे पता चलेगा? जैसे कि आप लोग अभी recently अगर if you are following these webinars, seminars, and pre-bell and after, you might be knowing that how bottom is getting formed, right? But if you don't know how top is getting formed, or is it the end of the a small rally, or it is just going on, to check that out, you need to track distribution day. अभी distribution day क्या होता है? 0.2% fall or higher on a volume which is higher than the previous session. So अभी फ्राइडे के सेशन से ज्यादा वॉल्यूम थे थोड़े आज. सी एक तो रिलेटिवली फ्राइडे का वॉल्यूम कम था कंपेयर टू द एवरेज वॉल्यूम और द लास्ट फ्यू डेज वॉल्यूम, और आज भी वॉल्यूम कम था बट इट वाज हायर देन फ्राइडे. तो जब भी फ्राइडे एक प्रीवियस डे से ज्यादा वॉल्यूम और 2% से ज्यादा का 0.2% से ज्यादा का फॉल है, देन वी विल मार्क इट एज अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डे. Now see, one distribution day not an issue, but now we don't want the accumulation of the distribution day. Clustering होता है ना, तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता है. लाइक एक वीक में अगर दो या तीन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन डे, लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल इन वन वीक, then that is very negative. And in fact, in 2 weeks, if you get some 4 to 5 distribution days, then that's the clear indication that yes, there is a restriction to the current uptrend, and we are in the downward direction. The move is towards that. So distribution day बहुत important हो जाता है track करने का. 2 to 3 distribution day in a week is clustering and not good. But yes, one distribution day today, maybe 2 3 days, again if market is stable and we find one another, that's not a problem. But overall एक certain level hold करना चाहिए. Let's say for example 100 DMA hold करता है और distribution day बहुत limited होता है, then that's the not a problem. But yes, the first mark is already here. Last Monday हम कंफर्म अपट्रेंड में गए थे, एंड सिंस देन 4 days were very good, no distribution day. But today there was. If you see the top gainers and losers, the metals were among the gainers, the Tata Steels, the Hindalco, also some PSUs like uh, Coal India was here, Apollo Hospital, and from the bank side, IndusInd Bank was among the top gainer. On the flip side, Reliance, dragged index the most, uh, because the results were, so overall it was a good number, but yes, it was a miss on a lot of front, and some of the comments were not really encouraging for the street. Maruti, Eicher Motor, M&M. So auto में आज काफी सारा correction था, but see auto index is already at too high, so छोटा correction is never an issue, but you don't want to get it prolonged. Key level breach नहीं होना चाहिए, and it should not continue. Otherwise, if there is a 2 3 5% of healthy correction after 15 20% of gain, then that's not an issue. But yes, today the top losers were from the auto sectors, followed by the ONGC, because the crude oil prices are down, which is good for in fact India. So not a problem. Let's hope it remains lower. एंड यस इट इज एस्टिमेटेड कि हाँ कोई ऐसा मेजर जंप नहीं होगा, क्योंकि डिमांड इतना स्ट्रांग नहीं है और आउटपुट इज गेटिंग इंक्रीजिंग. लीबिया से आउटपुट आ रहा है. सो रिसेंटली द यूएस प्रेसिडेंट आल्सो वेंट टू द oil product producing states, and he discussed a lot about increasing the output and also. I don't think कि अभी मेजर जंप आ सकता है in oil. but you never know what happens. The geopolitical tension, impacts the oil prices, and it's not in anyone's hand. Okay, on the sectorial front, so there are very less green spots. The Nifty IT was over here, and metal was the top gainer. Uh, Bank was almost flat, bank and financial service, so almost flat to positive action over there. But yes, the major problem was over here in the auto, around 1.7% of the loss. FMCG was a little weak, but no major issue. But yes, pharma more than 1% of loss, and yes, private bank was almost flat, but there was some corrective action in PSU Bank. Realty was almost 0.5% lower. So this was about the sectoral front. Now, if you see the Nifty 50, it remains in a confirm uptrend, but as you can see over here, today's volume was little higher than Friday's volume, and the fall was more than 2%. So distribution day is already here, but not a point to worry, because see, there was a continuous rally for 6 sessions, right? So maybe 1 or 2 session, some consolidation, a healthy consolidation can cannot be ignored. So not an issue. Overall, the setup looks quite well. Now, this is Bank Nifty. Sorry, here no heading over here, but yes, this is the chart of Bank Nifty, and we discussed this one in the morning. So some of you might be there in the pre-bell session as well. कि जो black line है, that becomes very important for Bank Nifty, क्योंकि excellent rally मारा है Bank Nifty last 5-6 session में. It has led this uptrend in Nifty, and we wanted to hold this black line. So आज का जो low था वो 200 DMA के ऊपर ही था, somewhere around 470 का low था, and the 200 DMA is somewhere around 420-25, 10 to 20 points here and there. But yes, उसका low 200 DMA के ऊपर था, and that is very positive. And we want to see again, the if any low comes, then it should be above this 200 DMA. Then that's very positive for the Bank Nifty. और अगर लीडिंग सेक्टर जैसे कि बैंक निफ्टी का सेटअप अच्छा रहा, then you will see that Nifty will also be able to hold a certain level. There were few important results. The Canara Bank was one. The loan growth was very good for the Canara Bank, almost 15% growth on the YOY basis and more than 6% growth on a QOQ basis. इनका balance sheet भी काफी improve हुआ है. So not only the loan growth, but the balance sheet has also improved quite. And the NPAs are at a 28 quarter low. So 28 quarter low pe NPA, and NNPA is 2.48, which is quite good compared to how it had in past. So overall good set of number. Was very volatile after the result, and you can see over here, since in last 1 month, almost from 170 level, it has moved to 230 level. So currently it is forming a double bottom base, if you can see over here. So it is forming this double bottom base and 10 to 11% to pivot. So it's already extended from its recent low in quick session. So just wait for a small consolidation and let it gain some strength in the right side of the base. यहाँ पे अच्छे volume से accumulation होता है, and then when it breaks out, then you can definitely have this one in your watch list. The other important result, so this came after the market around 3:30, after 3:30, Tech Mahindra. So it missed PAT estimates. So unlike other IT firms only, इसका PAT miss कर गया estimate को. Revenue was in line with estimate. So revenue front पे problem नहीं है, but PAT was below estimate. The problem over here in Tech Mahindra is the margin. I think सिर्फ 11% के around margin आया है, and which is below estimate. और QOQ जो लास्ट क्वार्टर में Q4 FY22 में इसका मार्जिन 13% से भी ज्यादा था, और वहां से कम होके 11%. So it is down now to 11%. So see, fall in margin was expected for these IT firms, but yes, over here the fall is a bit more. So almost more than 2% of depreciation in the margin. Otherwise, if you look over here, the setup is quite weak. So there was some high volume selling, but yeah, 50 DMA is falling. It is currently thing that yes, now it is not falling substantially, as the market is a bit stable now. So it is not falling too much, but see, the volume is high. It is above average. So let's see if there is some positive churning over here. And if you see 50 DMA reclaim and it sustains above it, watched over here for Tech Mahindra, that what are the revenue and the margin guidance, because yesterday Infosys में भी ऐसा था, result इतना strong नहीं कह सकते, तो revenue was a bit, but they, the management commented that the revenue growth will be higher, so उसको raise किया guidance FY23 का, and और EBITDA margin guidance they maintain. So let's see what goes for the Tech Mahindra. The other result was Solar Industry. It's a fundamentally good stock. Recently, only yesterday, or I think on Friday, it reclaimed its 50 DMA on a very high volume. Yeah, PAT growth was very good. The PAT growth was somewhere around 75% to 170 crore. उनका रेवेन्यू ऑलमोस्ट डबल हो गया, कुछ 850 करोड़ से 1600 प्लस करोड़ चला गया. But again, the margin, the raw material cost is always a problem in these kind of inflationary scenario. So margin was at 17.5. So 17.5 के around का margin था, compared to 21% on a YOY basis. But overall, see, RS rating is holding well. The stock इतना गिरा नहीं है, अगर last कुछ टाइम से देखे एक यहाँ पे करेक्शन अच्छा आया था, but it is forming base on base structure. So this is something very positive. Whenever a stock forms a base on base structure, then it's always constructive. Let's see if it can hold 50 DMA. What are the commentaries coming out for the stock? And if it can break out from the base, then it's a good stock to look for. Now the last stock of the day, or you can say the watch list stock that we always discuss at the last. Today we have selected Eid Parry. So it is forming a stage 2 consolidation base, and it is very close to its pivot. In fact, it came at a pivot level during the day today. The volume was also high, but what we didn't like today was, and also on the Thursday, Aaj or Thursday, what we didn't like was the closing, that the closing was near the day's low. So this is something that we didn't like. Otherwise, the setup is quite well. इनका business जो sugar business में growth है, distillery business का growth है, both is fine, and virtually a debt-free company on a standalone basis. Plus, this holds a very good, I think, more than 50-55% of stake in Coromandel International. So this is also a Murugappa Group company, and same is the Coromandel. So Eid Parry almost around 55% Coromandel International में hold करती है, and the fertilizer stock, especially Coromandel, did quite well, and so this stock is also holding well. Fundamentals भी अच्छे हैं, last 2 quarters में काफी improve हुए. Number of fund holding has increased notably, 10% on a QOQ basis. Number of fund held भी increase हुए हैं. ROE 17%, not bad. It is good and at the threshold or above the threshold and what we look for. So overall a good setup, but let it gain some strength, क्योंकि अगर देखें RS 74 का है, so not a major issue, but it is trending higher also since last few weeks, but over here not a good one. But so maybe tomorrow or maybe the day after tomorrow we want a clean breakout on a very high volume. थोड़ा accumulation अगर यहाँ पे आ जाता है, then that is very good. So overall this setup looks quite good. So that's it, guys, for the today's session. Thank you very much for joining. I hope it was useful to you. So now tomorrow at 8:45 we'll meet again for the pre-bell session, and some important results will be out this evening. Tata Steel is going to report the result, and other also key results to be out. So we'll check how it went, and we'll give you update in the morning at 8:45. So till then, thanks for joining. See you tomorrow. So Anubhav, Rucha, can you share the pre-bell link with Anubhav? Yes, we will share the link in this group only, so you guys can join tomorrow. So Mulafar has couple of questions, but ideally we don't take the questions in the pre-bell or aftermarket sessions. But every Thursday, we have one on alternate basis. We have stock darbar, and our swing trading team also will be available this Thursday. So maybe you can raise the question over there, or you can send us an email. So we'll try to reply you back. And yes, the link for the pre-bell as well as the after hours is over here. Thanks, Rucha, for sharing the link. So every day at 8:40.